What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys this four-game slate over on prizepicks. So if you haven't signed up for prizepicks yet, you can sign up using promo code Upstate. That'll give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So me and Reoz have been rolling lately. We crushed NFL last night, 7-0 on NFL. On Saturday, we went 7-0 on UFC. So we're rolling. You can find all what we're punching in, our top hit rate guys, people we like, people we're just on, how we're pairing them together, all over on our Patreon. Riaz, why don't you tell them about the Patreon service?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely summed it up pretty good in a nutshell. But yeah, bunch of articles coming out, our plays, hit rates, our bets we're throwing on there as well. So just a bunch of content. Like we said before, we're pushing out a lot of content here on the YouTube, but even more over on the Patreon. So you can find that at patreon.com/upstate.
Yeah, the link for that, as well as the link for our Twitter and our free Discord, will be in the description. So check those out when you guys get the chance. We're on Prize Picks per usual. We're gonna dive into a couple guys we like here. Nice little four-game slate. Right now we don't have the Chicago guys out. They were on the board earlier. They came off. Levine is questionable, so we'll see how things on like roll out as the night goes on. But the first guy I want to get to over in the points category, I'm looking at Darius Garland right now. I think I like him a little bit more in PRA, but I just want to talk about his points because he's been absolutely smashing. He's not going to have that huge game, and we saw 32 against San Antonio, but with him at his PRA being at 33.5, I like this a little bit more because he can definitely get some assists for you, and it's a little bit safer than the fantasy score because he's a guy that definitely could turn the ball over a little bit. So if you want to look to PRA, he's probably one of my go-to guys on this slate.
Without a doubt. I mean, we saw the 20, 30 point upside with him, and then we even saw the 18 assists, 12 assists. I mean, he's just been playing phenomenal against this Knicks team. Definitely a good play there. And then to keep it in the same game, I know we've been burnt pretty bad about on Jared Allen for the last couple of games now, but his line just keeps dropping. And at 13 and a half, he's been known to get 14, 15 points almost every single game now. We know the hot streak he was on, and against this Knicks team, they do like to play big. We've talked about how big this Cavaliers team plays, and at 13 and a half, it's definitely a line that's kind of hard to fade.
Yeah, I mean, earlier in the season, I mean, Allen was going for 18, 20, 21-point games very consistently. And if he's going to keep up what he's been doing lately, he's been, three out of the last five, but we need a big game out of him. And I think he can do it against the Knicks here tonight. Scrolling down a little bit, obviously we have to see what happens with the Pacers here with Karis LeVert. He's questionable right now. I think Sabonis and Turner are both going to miss again tonight. I'm going to talk about Goga in a different category, but as we get down to these games down here, Riaz, anyone you like here in points?
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul has been playing phenomenal as of late. I mean, 15, 20, 18 in his last three games. Still no Aiton, and we know somebody else other than Devin Booker's got to score on this team, and we know Bridges has been playing very well, but Chris Paul just has very steady minutes, and we know how productive he is when he's out there. His volume of shots have definitely increased now that Aiton has been out for this extended period of time. So at 14 and a half, he's been shooting the three ball pretty well too. So if we can get a line for his half a three, I believe that's last 10 games, 60, 80% hit rate. So I wouldn't mind going there as well.
Yeah, no one else in the Suns game is really interesting me. I mean, obviously we're gonna wait for some Utah guys to come out, but no Jay Crowder, no DeAndre Ayton for the squad. I was on Cameron Johnson a couple nights ago. He looks a little bit better than he did now. With no Jay Crowder, but still can't find a way to get to him tonight. Let's jump over to rebounds, man. There's really not much I like here. I mean, I know we got a big name here in Jovel, someone that can definitely clean the glass. I think Mobley looks good too with no marketing. But who are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, every time Julius Randle's sitting at this 8.5, for some reason I just gravitate towards it, and I think he's going to play a big role in this game. I mean, his hit rate is not great. I believe it's 50, maybe even 55% in the last 10 games, and right here, three out of the last five, just getting 9, 10 boards here. Definitely not the safest pick, but against this Cleveland team, he's got to show that he can compete on the boards with Mobley and Jared Allen down low. So at 8.5, this seems like a game where it lines up where he could have 10, 11 boards here tonight.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, they run really big. I mean, without marketing, it definitely lowers how big they're running the lineup, but they throw a guy like Isaac Okoro in there too. That's that's just as big, and they run Kevin Love out there in limited minutes too. So this Cavs team, no matter what, is big. Randall's gonna have to play his role, getting rebounds tonight. A lot of people might look at Josh Giddey. He's had some really explosive games over the last five. I mean, 11 against San Antonio, 9 against Charlotte. I think he looks all right. Like I said, Chicago. We're gonna kind of see how the lineup goes tonight if Levine plays. I'm gonna say he doesn't play, and then anyone else here interest you? For me, I'm not really on much.
I mean, Josh Hart is definitely a guy to look at 7.5. We've seen his rebounding ability so far this year has been phenomenal. I mean, upwards to 11, 12 boards a game at some points. I mean, even in the last 5 games here, we saw 11 against Brooklyn, 9 against Minnesota, and I think we saw his line creep up to 8.5. Here at 7.5, it's definitely a line that I don't mind taking, considering all the players that are out for this Pacers team. I mean, no Sabonis, no Miles Turner. That definitely plays a big part in this game.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention too, Chris Paul. We've seen so far this season with Ayton out and with Jay Crowder out, he's had some decent rebounding games. I never like to go to like a smaller guard like CP3 in rebounds, but if that's your cup of tea, I don't mind if you want to go there. Over an assist, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander last night goes into the fourth quarter with like 1 assist, ends up getting the over, and that was honestly nice to see. So he's been really dishing the rock over like the last 10, 15 games. I like the way he's been playing. I think he looks good tonight. Not one of my go-tos, but I did want to bring him up.
Yeah, no problem going here. Back to Shea. I mean, we saw early on in the season how unproductive he was making plays for his team, but as of late, he's looked really good. And then Garland, you like him for the PRA. I mean, this is definitely a big part on why you like the PRA. We've seen his assists just skyrocket as of late. I mean, 4 out of the last 5, and really at this line at 9.5, it hasn't even been close. So definitely a guy you could look to here for assists.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to jump over to fantasy score, PRA, three pointers made. Who do you like over in these categories?
Yeah, let's go to 3 pointers made. Not a bunch of guys here, but Devin Booker is definitely one who's always in play at 2.5. I mean, definitely a guy who's been kind of on the rise. It was tough to see against the Pacers him not make any, but I like the bounce back game. We kind of saw against Detroit he had one bounce back and hit 5 against the Spurs, and then coming off 2 bad games, I think this is a spot, especially against the Utah Jazz, who we like to target because they don't guard the perimeter very well. This is definitely a good spot for him.
Yeah, Booker's a guy that definitely can get it going from deep, from sure. And, the fact that they're missing Crowder now, who definitely eats up, not a huge amount of three-pointers, but definitely quite a bit, definitely could help Booker out in this situation. Last game, 0 for 6. It's tough to see, but the game before that, 1 for 8 as well. Hasn't looked pretty, but I do like the bounce-back spot for sure. Over in PRA, I already talked about Garland. That's pretty much it for me. I mean, I want to look to a guy like Goga, but we have to see how Karis LeVert, what that questionability looks like towards Tip. If he does sit, I love Goga here. He's been absolutely like smashing. He's been playing well. I mean, we saw the game where he got ejected, of course, but in the past 2 games against Golden State and Phoenix, has looked amazing. So I think I like him only if LeVert is out. I know LeVert would probably eat up a lot of usage if he's in, but if LeVert decides to sit, Goga's going to be one of my go-to guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. And then even Macie Bridges here at 17.5. Definitely a good spot for him. We saw 26-33 in the last 2 games, and we know he could bring 15, upwards of 20 points, just actual points. So he's not very too involved getting any rebounds and really making any plays, but he can definitely sprinkle some of those in there. But he could hit this just on actual points. So at 17.5, I really like that line.
Oh yeah, I think Bridges looks really good. The fact that Crowder's missing that game too, there should be some scoring that needs to come around, and he's definitely the guy that can get there just like in points, like Reoz said. And then yeah, let's wrap things up over in fantasy score, man. Nothing here is really catching my eye, but who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, not too many lines that I'm really gravitating towards. I mean, you could definitely take the discount here on Craig, just debating on all the news that's going to come out for this Pacers team, but we know how active he is on the defensive end. And against Golden State, we saw 32, 28 against the Lakers. So he's got a lot of upside there. And at 25.5, we saw the same line with Holiday, but he just seems to always get in foul trouble. And if Craig really starts heating up in this game, he's going to get a lot of run here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, these Pacers guys were just waiting on some news, but Craig looks really good. And the fact that, if you play someone over in fantasy score, the amount of points you can just accumulate from a guy that's going to get you assists, steals and blocks is just amazing. So don't mind Craig there at all. Is there anyone else on the slate you wanted to talk about, or is that good for you?
No, that's good for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a little four gamer, nothing too crazy. I would definitely advise to play light. I know I've been saying play light the past couple of days, but that's just how it is. Usually on a Monday we got a lot more games than this. It's usually like a 10 game or 11 game. But as the week goes on, tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. That's a nice day where you can kind of hit some smash spots. Wednesday is always a huge day for the league. So yeah, we're just gonna play a little bit light today. Like I said, you can sign up on the Patreon. You can catch all of our picks, hit rate guys, articles. Me and Reoz are both writing up. We're grinding over there. So thank you guys for watching this video, and we're gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.